Good morning, good morning, good morning. Dipsy Coo over on Twitch is doing a song I requested and I'm not there. Sad. Please apologize to him. There we go. Right, good morning. Messages as you go live, and it was all a bit frantic. Was numbing a muffin, so I'm ready to go. How are we? It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday. We got through Monday, which is really important. Sorry, just clearing the muffin. Yeah, how are we? How are we? Good morning, Steve. Good morning. How are you, sir? Yeah. It's Tuesday. Can't believe it's Tuesday already. It's been a bit of a whiz of a week so far. I know we're only 2 days into it. It's just it feels like it's been really frantic. I don't know about you. Hello, Yvonne Hates Injustice. How are you, my darling? I hope you are well. How are you feeling today? What's going on for you? Yeah, I just wanted to do, yeah, pretty good. Excellent. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Dipsy is an amazing way to start your day over on Twitch. If you're watching this on the replay or you've never heard of Dipsy Coo, go over to Twitch and search for Dipsy Coo. Dipsykoo. He is an incredibly talented singer, but he is just going about his life being the best person he can be, spreading love and positivity and creativity using his voice. And he's just amazing. He's one of my favorite people in the world. He really is. I'm glad you're feeling better today. I am. I was thinking of you all night last night and this morning, and I am so glad you were doing better today. That brings me a lot of joy. It is really hard to wheel in your chair when you've only got one working foot. Sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of you yesterday and today. Good morning, PC Tech Radio. How are you, my love? How are you doing? It is Tuesday. You got through Monday. Yeah, I was thinking about you, Yvonne, and I was sending so much love your way. Yeah, just life is so stressful, isn't it? Life is so stressful. Yeah, we have the UK gang in the house this morning, which is really nice. It is really nice, especially for, well, it's now afternoon, isn't it? Especially for midday on a Tuesday. It is really nice to get some UK peeps. I am so glad you were doing well. PC Tech Radio. That is fantastic. I am so glad everyone is breathing and feeling good today. Makes the world of difference. Bad days come and go, but getting it off your chest and sharing it is really good. But one of the things I wanted to mention today is the fact that as people that suffer with mental health or physical health and various conditions, sometimes it really makes a difference to be helping other people. And that was something I was reminded of yesterday. When I'm down, I check in on my friends. If I'm feeling down, someone else is. It's a reminder to check in on the people that I know struggle. And something I was reminded of yesterday, a stream over on Twitch as well, is the fact that even at our lowest, we can be a force for good for others. I've got to be honest with you. Hey, Temp, how are you doing, darling? I'm proud of you too. You were doing amazing work. Again, go and search out Mad Erez over on Twitch. He is doing some amazing work. Again, spreading just love and positivity and fun through gaming and cosplay. He's just amazing. We love Temp so much. One of the things that like yesterday morning, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't sure I was going to go live over on Twitch. I don't know. I don't know what it was yesterday. I think, I'm pretty down in myself. Like everyone, I've got a lot going on and I wasn't feeling it. And I thought, no, I'm going to drag my butt upstairs. I'm going to set up and I am going to go live. And I am so pleased I did. We had a really lovely, supportive community turnout, and we had some new people that we got to meet and get to know a little bit. But we were able to bring them some positivities. As a community, we were able to support and love and bring those people up. A rising tide lifts all boats. And that's what we did yesterday. And I left that stream just so relieved and so grateful that, I did get off my backside and go live, because it brought us all together as a team. And it was a beautiful moment. Excuse me. So I wanted to ask, who are you helping at the moment? Who are you reaching out to? Because you never know how much of a difference that makes in someone's lives. We've all been on the receiving end of that, but let's pay it forward and make sure we're reaching out to other people as well. It was such a heartwarming stream. It was sad. I'm not going to lie. We talked about some pretty difficult topics, but it was also incredibly uplifting to those that really needed it yesterday. And that's the whole goal of what I do, is to reach people, is to give all of us in the community a chance to reach other people just like us that really need it. It is available as a video on demand if you wanted to join in. It's a bit scrappy in the beginning. I had some technical issues. I thought my microphone wasn't working. So I restarted my laptop and I did all sorts of stuff. Turns out there's a little volume knob on the bottom here. My kids had got into the office and were playing with it. So it was just the volume was turned all the way down. But yeah, it was a really lovely, positive stream. And this is what this community is all about. It really is. And it is making a difference, one person at a time. And a conversation that I've had with other friends recently has been, we can change the world one person at a time, just one. Because you never know how that ripple effect is going to move out. And, one pebble can start a landslide. And I think we all need to think of ourselves as that pebble. We may be, in the grand scheme of things, very small, and think that we can't have an influence on others. And there are some people we can't reach. I'm not going to pretend that we can make the world a better place when it comes to bad people. We can't. But there are people we can reach, and we can help them shape themselves, because change comes from within. We can't make people change, but we can change the way we deal with people to produce that really positive effect. And that is something I witnessed yesterday with those of you who are here, like Yvonne Hates Injustice and Steve and others who really showed up for themselves and for other people. And it was a beautiful moment of real humanity, what it is to be a decent human being. And you all give me hope. You all bring such joy and positivity to my life. So I wanted to let you know that you are helping me. And it's important to say these things when people are still around to hear it. It's why I am so keen on saying I love you to friends. It's not just romantic partners and family. It is, I have normalized saying I love you, because friends are just my chosen family. And again, we touched on chosen family yesterday and the other day on stream. Uh Wow, loads of information. I'm just going to take a break to read this. Have lots of videos coming out end of the month. Also, I'm helping Temp. Just sent him a package. Also preparing your PC, and hopefully, I'm going to be back soon. Also, Andy, I've created Shaylin. Brilliant. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope to get back to the D&D sessions. It's really difficult to sit for any length of time with my leg, but I am hoping Friday. I'm going to change the setup underneath my desk to try and elevate my leg. At the moment, it's down and it swells, and it's not nice. It's not nice. So yes, I am looking forward to getting back to that, and my D&D family, you know, um, and having fun and blowing off steam, because I really haven't had a lot of that recently. And you know, we need that. We all need to blow off steam. But you are doing an amazing job, like reaching out to people and helping with those things, like sending Temp a package to help him fix his setup is huge. You know, it makes a big difference. And you know, it doesn't have to be monetary. It, but reaching out and saying, I can help you fix that thing that is bothering you or is getting in your way of moving forward is just fantastic. You know, yeah, health does come first. I am so desperate to get this cast off my damn leg. I'm so desperate. Unfortunately, the cast is a PTSD trigger. So I'm living with a PTSD trigger, and I don't know whether you can see on the camera, but I have like little scabs all over my face and my arms, and I'm having PTSD nightmares, and I'm clawing at myself because the cast is bothering me so much. So I have 15 days, just 15 days until they do the next check, and fingers crossed at that point I can get a moon boot and start learning to walk again and building up the muscle, because obviously there's muscle deterioration where I've not been able to put any pressure on my leg for so long. So yeah, but I am desperate to get this damn cast off. It's driving me wild. And it's making me moody. I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit grumpy because I'm so uncomfortable, and there's still a bit of pain there. So, you know, I'm not the best of company a lot of the time, is the other reason. So I've kind of thrown myself into work and then hiding. Yeah, fingers crossed. They'll do another set of x-rays and they'll make sure that everything is taking, because there is a risk when you have pins and plates and stuff like that that your body will reject them, at which point you've got really big problems. So until they check and make sure everything is healing around all of that, I can't do anything. And I'm not good at sitting still. That's the other reason why I'm grumpy is, you know, I want to get up and do a bowl of washing up, or, you know, I mean, I hate washing up. That's how desperate I am. Mm. Just finished my game now. I'm making a Drow Storm Sorcerer. Might call him Buzz. Love it. I really, really love it. I really do. The other thing I've done is thrown myself into World of Warcraft, which is dangerous. So yeah. Lift your leg. I'm trying. I'm trying. I am putting my leg up, I promise. It's only when I'm sat at the PC or the laptop at the moment that I'm not. But like I said, I've got an idea for how to raise my leg. Yeah, so there's a little footstool and a pillow at the moment, but I've because there's only so much space under the desk between me and the wall because I'm facing a wall. So yeah. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. WoW Classic. Dragonflight is too easy. Um, I started off trying Dragonflight on the 2-week trial, and by, like, level 11, I had 90 gold and wasn't struggling for anything. There wasn't a challenge there, so I wish I could take my legs off like a Lego person. That would really be nice because I could then just take my legs off and get some sleep. It's why I look like I've got a whole luggage set under each eye at the moment is I'm sleeping, but it's not good sleep at all. Um, yeah, I can't afford the expansion. Not at all. So I'm just enjoying WoW Classic for what it is, up to Lich King. I mean, my character's my little gnome is only 20th, so level 20. So you know, I've got a way to go, and I'm enjoying Classic for what it is, and I don't know. It's like coming home. And I didn't think it would be because WoW has some kind of negative memories, but actually I'm really enjoying it for what it is and being in the moment. Yeah, only classic. Dragonflight, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's far more plot driven, story driven, which is really nice. But there are so many cutscenes, and you get spells a lot earlier. Um, and that means a very by level 5 you're doing the same damage that you would in classic at kind of level 15, and it's so easy, and I like a bit of a challenge, although I have died over and over and over again trying to kill ogres, because gnomes are squishy. I wish I could give that to you. I mean, if I had the power to make your legs removable, Yvonne, um, I'd have the power to make you better. And I think I'd rather do that. Um, yeah. um, so yeah, so I'm trying to fill my time. Uh, Yeah, absolutely. Dragonflight is considered retail, and it is. It is absolutely that. You know, I would agree with that. And I am looking to see where Chris Metzen kind of takes it. I think he's picked it up and carried on with what he wanted um, to do originally. But Blizzard became, power hungry and cash mad, or cash hungry and power mad, whichever way around. Either way works. Um, and this is one of the reasons why I like to buy as much as I can from small businesses, because they do a little happy jig every time they make a sale. And it's the same for streamers and everything else. I like to support the small guys because it gives people that hug over a distance. Whereas companies like Blizzard, and I'm saying this as they're being taken over by Microsoft, but Microsoft, at the very least, have customers at heart. You look at everything they do with Xbox and everything else. Game Pass is my other half has a Game Pass, and we kind of, oh, is it worth the money? And actually, it's paid for itself over and over and over again because they've put gamers at heart. And I'm really looking forward to them getting back to the more or less the original team, who are gamers and are making content for gamers. Um, uh, sorry, if you have one of those things used for holding your hand or shoulder, in place. You can rig it to hold your leg at the shin, but you'll have to be pretty flexible. The good thing is with EDS, I am pretty flexible. And actually, that's a really good idea. And I'm really annoyed that I didn't think of that, because we have one of those from when Litland broke her elbow. So really good idea. I'm going to look into that, because that's really clever. Thank you, Temp. Okay, so it's easier at the beginning to get you hooked, and then it becomes more difficult than classic at higher levels. Okay. Microsoft came in and booted out Bobby, brought back Chris, and Bobby hates it. If you're going to do a bad job at that level, you are going to get booted. People are going to vote with their feet and with their money. And this is why I don't think cancel culture, this big beast of cancel culture, is actually a thing. It's capitalism at work. When people aren't enjoying what you're doing, they're not going to buy your product. So if you're a company that has a sponsorship deal with someone who then says something racist, people aren't going to buy your product. And it's similar with this. People stopped paying the WoW subscription and buying the expansions in the droves that they were, because it was just shitty expansion after shitty expansion, and you weren't getting anything. It became about raiding and kind of getting the best gear, and then there was nothing for you. So yeah, Game Pass is amazing, and it is totally worth the money. Is the storm past? Good. I was also thinking about you yesterday about that, because like the level of rain and the high winds that they had predicted was really very alarming. It's bad weather here, but nowhere near as bad as it was predicted to be with you, and PC tech and that kind of thing. Classic is better, but I'm biased. Retail was Bobby's world. Yeah. I mean, I'm biased. Classic was where I started when WoW launched, back in the 1800s, and that will always have a place in my heart. But I always felt that it was just, the storyline was really good. It was well thought out. Leveling was nice and progressive. The achievements and stuff like that, when they came in, that was a nice little fixture, and flying around and filling in the maps was something I really enjoyed doing. There was something for everyone. Yeah, Game Pass is absolutely well worth it, and the amount of money it saves really quickly. Like, we upgraded to the big Game Pass thingy, and within like 2 hours of having a mooch around, it paid for itself 10 times over, in terms of games that were free, especially with how expensive games are. Still high winds and rain here, but not as bad. Yeah, yesterday we had really high winds, and all of the trees around us are now bare. It went from nice autumn leaves to nothing overnight. So we still have the high winds. It's damp and raining on and off, but nowhere near as bad as it was last night, or how it's been for kind of up north, and Scotland. Absolutely battered by it. So yeah, it's not good, is it? Not good. But of course, climate change is not real. It's called the seasons. Wow, it's gone here. Very grey day, but yesterday was bad. Was bad. Thought the tree was coming through my wall. Oh, do you know that's my biggest fear? It's completely irrational. I don't think any of the trees could actually reach my house, but we've got trees all along that side, and we've got one in the garden, and I just the thought of a tree coming through my roof as it falls. Ugh. Um, Speaking of cold, it is freezing. So cold here today. Um, it's unpleasant to say the least. Oops. No, that wasn't. Was that the right one? Oh, problem is I can't see. Sorry, I was just refreshing a page. There we go. Yeah, it's horrible, horrible weather. I just want to bundle up in a really warm, big jumper or cardigan and hide away from the world when it's like this. Like, this is a movie day kind of weather, isn't it? It's raining outside. You can't do anything. Excuse me, under a duvet, watching a movie or finding someone on YouTube or Twitch who is streaming and just chilling out, really. Going to do the Game Pass once I have finished upgrading PC. Got the Lenovo P500. Need to upgrade hard drives and memory to 125 gig. And then CPU, 400 quid, well spent. Ouch. But definitely well spent, because that is going to last you a while and run anything you want to run. But big upgrade. Big upgrade. That's huge. And you're sorting out my PC and helping temp and all the rest of it. Like, I don't know how you cram it all in to the time that you have. I really don't. Branches kept banging on the wall, kept telling. I told them they weren't coming in. Well, it obviously worked, Yvonne. You told them. You tell them from me as well. Yep, definitely a video day. Yep, stay indoors if you can. Don't go out. Don't get wet and cold. It's just it is the kind of weather that you are just gonna get ill from being outside, aren't you? If you don't have to go out, don't. That is absolutely 100% my view. Yeah, for sure. Sorry. Oh, most of that 400 quid was Lego. So much money, but very cool. Lego is always a good time. Yeah, amazing videos for Lego City. If anyone doesn't know, PC Tech has a YouTube channel here, which is Brickable Hours. Sorry, I am just going to find you so I can give you a shout out, because he's building a Lego city, and it's just outstanding. So much work and time and effort and everything else is going into this, and it's so creative. It is so creative and beautiful. Good morning, Ramius. How are you? You're up early and eating at the PC. Well, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the fact that you are here. How are you? It is so lovely to see you. Yeah, Brickable Hours is building this Lego city, which is going to take over pretty much the whole room. And it's just so satisfying to watch this thing come together. It really is. So go and give his channel a like. Go subscribe and watch this thing come together, because it's amazing. He's putting so much effort into it. Just it's beautifully creative, to say the least. So yeah. But £400 on Lego is a lot of money. a lot of money. Although I bet that shopping trip was really fun. I really do. It's the kind of thing where, if you've got the budget for it, you're almost supermarket sweeping your way through the Lego store. Um, yeah, love Lego. And it's something fun for all ages, is the other thing with Lego. There is something so satisfying about spending a rainy afternoon indoors building with Lego. My kids love it. They really do. Um, Rami's, this morning we're talking about how we are helping others. Because sometimes when we have mental health problems or physical health problems, um, we get a lot of help ourselves from helping other people. And it's something that happened yesterday. I stream on Twitch as well. And I streamed yesterday. And despite not really feeling it in the morning, not really being up to it, I'm so glad I did, because we met new people and we were able to lift them up and support them. And it makes all the difference. You never know who you are having a positive effect on. And you can change someone's life just with, kind words. But we've also got onto games and things like that, because it's a wet and windy, horrible day here in the UK. So it's the kind of day where you cuddle up and watch a film, or, play with some Lego, do some indoor creativity. Lego, D&D, Warhammer, 40,000, and PC upgrades, all the good nerd stuff. Yes, because you are exercising your brain. And that is so important, to keep your brain active and engaged. 200 on Lego, 200 on PC upgrades. So at least you were balanced. But it's money well spent in the long run, isn't it? I'm fine, but Donna here twisted her ankle and skinned her elbow falling as she walked across her work parking lot. Oh, so painful. So painful. Did not break, but swollen. She did her day at school anyway and went in she is a hero. She is really just so strong for doing that. I hope she's okay. I hope it all heals really quickly. Having broken my ankle recently, I am really glad it's not broken. But yeah, poor Donna. Please send her our love, and make sure she's okay. Yes, it is absolutely typical English weather. If you were to write the stereotypical English weather, it is, British weather. Yeah. Definitely well worth and well spent. Yes. Because being creative, no matter what kind of creativity, makes such a good difference to us, especially this time of year when it is miserable outside. And seasonal affective disorder kind of can take hold. Keeping your brain active makes such a big difference to your hormone levels and keeping yourself kind of going. I've put my new Baldur's Gate 3 character on the D&D group. Have I got that right, that it's Baldur's Gate? I will have a look at that in a minute. Yes, ouch. Send her our love. Poor Donna. That is, it's rough. It's so rough. Especially when you're in a job, or in a situation where you can't skip class and you've got to be there. Oh, yep, I did get that right, and that's good. I read it, and as soon as I read it, I was like, my brain kind of went, "You got that wrong. You're making an idiot of yourself." So I thought I'd check. I'm going to confront it head on, rather than letting the little voice inside my head get at me. Got to ignore the little voices. Oh, excuse me, having a drink. Yeah, I just, on days like this, I'm so cold. I'm so cold. I just ugh, I hate it. It just makes you sleepy as well. Um, that is great news. You've been working on your second book. This is awesome. Can you DM me the link to your book again, and I will post it here to give it a shout out because it is well worth spreading the news. Because of the first book, I think it's 90% of the proceeds of the book go to charity, and it's well worth giving it a boost every now and again. So do send me the link so I can pass that on. Having my grandkids on the 29th because the eldest daughter is getting an award at work. Yay! Oh, congratulations to your eldest. That is fantastic. It's going to be hard work having the grandkids, but totally worth it so she can enjoy her night. That is wonderful. I am so happy. She deserves that. She really does. You made him super buff for a sorcerer. Muscle muscle wizard. Yes. Yes. That's amazing. I'm so happy for your eldest. That is wonderful. I love it when we can share good news. That is so good. Mm-mm-mm. Thank you very much, PC Tech Radio. Right. Right, copy link. So let's add this to the chat. If you can, you should go and buy David's book. I think I'm right in saying it's 90% of the profits go to charities. I will double check that. Oh, it doesn't say. But it really is worth getting a copy and supporting a author on his journey. As you know, I love creativity. I love all of its forms. But you should, 90% to charity with both books. So it's amazing to support David as an author, but also to support all of those wonderful charities, because it makes a difference. Every penny makes a difference to good charities. So please do go and support him. And actually, I will put this in the description of the of today's stream as well, so that people can go and buy the book. I am not paid any commission. Please don't think that is kind of anything like that. It is just I want to support people on their creative journey. There we go. Edit. Sorry, can't type and talk. Amuse yourselves. There we go. Added to the description, so it'll be there if you are if you want to go and check that out, kind of after the stream or during the stream. Just come back and see me. But well worth it, because any creativity, especially when it is someone giving back, we can help him pay it forward, and do some good work. So there we go. A little bit of a shout out. Yeah. Pay it forward always. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you can, pay it forward. And it doesn't have to be monetary either. Paying forward a compliment, paying forward support and love. It's so valuable. Lived experience turning into positivity, being used for good is always a winner. And you can, going back to the title of today, you can help people with that. You can make a difference with that, one person at a time. And I'm so enthused, so passionate about that. I have had some people in my life that have made all of the difference, who have literally saved my life. And because of that, that's part of why I started doing all of this shenanigans. Because our experience and our desire to not have someone else go through that is a big motivator, and it can have more impact than anyone can really evaluate. Like, there's not an amount of impact. You can't measure it, is the word I'm looking for, because it can make a huge, huge, huge difference, for sure. Muscles won't help a wizard. You're welcome for the shout out, PC Tech. I've been meaning to do it for a while and I keep forgetting, and I'm really sorry. But I will kind of drop it into the description and make sure people know about it, kind of in other streams as well, because it's really important. When the second book goes live, let me have the link to that as well. Hey, Xander. Xander, hello. How are you? Welcome to the community, my friends. Be there soon. Gotta listen to my song request first. What song did you request? Oh, you saved my mental health yesterday. I am so thankful for you, Yvonne. I'm blown away by that. I'm not gonna cry. Someone is cutting onions. That's why I do this. And I'm so glad that I could be there when you needed me, and I am so glad that I could make a difference. But you do the work. You do the work. I'm just telling you what you already know. You already know all of that. You just needed to hear it from someone else. You are doing the work. But I am really grateful that you feel that way, and I love the fact that you are part of the community, a really big part of the community. But you can reach out to me anytime. I want to hold your hand as you go through that journey. And yeah, you are loved and you are valid. I am definitely not crying. I am definitely not. Someone's cutting onions. Right, moving on. How dare you? How dare you be nice? Oh, yeah. That's PC Tech Radio. I'm going to make him romance a wizard so they balance each other out. There's something surreal going on in the chat, I feel. I'm so glad Xander has come over. He's come over to the dark side of YouTube. No, wrong one. Sorry, I'm just clicked on the wrong one again. What is wrong with me? I'm gonna blame Yvonne. Yvonne's made me all of the tears. Uh, so I'm going to give out give a shout out to Xander. Xander is a really lovely human being. He also is over on Twitch. Just one of the good guys. Absolutely one of the good guys. Do watch out for Ava, his co-host, who is a little bit sore. Sure I'm getting this right. But like his streams are just a lot of fun. He's just a really lovely guy and he deserves our love and support as well. So he is, I think he puts clips up here on YouTube, but he streams live over on Twitch, like I said. So yeah, well worth popping over and giving him some support. Although I have just ruined things for Xander. He was on 69 subscribers and I made that 70. And I think he and Ava might have something to say about that. He streams every other week for a week. Yeah, very fun. He really is. He really is a lot of fun. I did give you a shout out earlier, I think. Yeah, I did. Yeah. It's I am finding some really lovely communities over on Twitch and here on YouTube. So I will always give shout outs to people that are making a difference and being positive and normalizing talking about mental health makes such a big difference to make this a topic that we talk about just the same as we talk about, having a cold or, other benign situations. I think it's so important to normalize it and make it a regular conversation. Didn't know you had a YouTube, Xander. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's uploaded anything recently. Everything's about a year ago. I mean, some of his stuff has had huge views. Oh, I was looking in the wrong place. Sorry. Yeah, 100 views or whatever else. More views than I'm getting, which, makes sense. He's a lot more entertaining. And there's definitely clips of Ava on there. But yeah, I would definitely check him out and check him out over on Twitch. His stuff is really lovely. He's also been like a really good friend. So yeah. Sorry, I think I've see, people turn up to your house and cut onions. And for no rhyme or reason. It's just rude. It's just rude, Yvonne. I'm sorry you're having a little cry, but I hope it's a good cry. I hope it's a happy cry. I am so happy that we met and that we have become friends. I know my life is better for having you all in it, like every single one of you. Yeah, exactly. Fucking onion cutters. Like, who is paying these people to just turn up and cut onions? Yeah. Bastards. Sorry, just checking that I didn't miss anything. Why can't they just rob me like normal home invaders? I know. It's like the people that sneak into your house and just take something inconvenient that you really need. I've been looking for some paperwork and I can't find it. And I'm sure someone broke into my house and just took that paperwork knowing that I would need it. Damn onions are strong today. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Strange custom. The onion cutters are an ancient tradition. Yeah. And we all know that tradition is peer pressure from dead people. It should just be outlawed now. I mean, keep people around who know about that kind of thing so they can do demonstrations like the living history demonstrations that you get at castles in historical sites and stuff. But don't come to my house and cut onions and make me cry. No. Hey Xander, I've done you a shout out for both here and over on Twitch, but it is really lovely to have you along with us. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Yep, damn right, fucking squirrels. Yep. Hey, it's Carly. It seems I dropped in on some onion cutting. Yeah, like Yvonne and I were having a heart-to-heart and suddenly someone started cutting onions and I ended up crying on stream because they were cutting onions and apparently they turned up to Yvonne's house at the same time. Doc stealers, yes, document stealers. How are you, Carly? Oh, lots of love for Carly. We miss your face, Carly. How are you doing, darling? How are you doing? It's so nice to have you here. We've got Ramius and Xander in the chat. We've got Yvonne. We've got Steve. We've got PC Tech Radio. Just a lovely bunch of wonderful people today. Lovely bunch. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. See them all standing in a row. Big ones, small ones, some the size of your head. I don't know how the rest of that song goes. I need to learn more. Why do we cry when it's the onions getting hurt? It's a defense mechanism to stop mammals from eating them. And it's a chemical in the root. So the root end, for about a centimetre in, has that chemical in it. So if you cut off the root just a little bit above that, it doesn't make you cry as much. It goes the chemical goes all the way through, but it gets weaker at the top. So don't use right down to the base of the onion. The community is amazing, and we all support each other and celebrate each other's successes and help each other achieve our goals. Love this community so much. Yes, absolutely, 100%. 100%. There isn't anyone in the community that takes more than they give, and I'm overwhelmed by the community and the support that is there, the unconditional love. And for some of us in the community, we've never experienced that kind of unconditional, no judgment love. And it's just a beautiful thing. Avon. We are empaths. We are empaths. Squirrel hunting season. Sad you missed it. What sad you missed the onion cutting? Yeah, your answer is better. Mine is based in fact. Yours was definitely funnier. The internet is a wonderful place. Hold on. Sorry. And actually, the community, at the end of a stream, whether it's Twitch or over here, I look at the geographical locations of viewers, and it blows my mind that my two little channels that don't have many people following them still reach from one corner of the globe to the other. And yesterday we had UK, US, Europe, Africa, Asia, and Australia. It's like I spoke to people yesterday. We spoke as a community on every continent, or all bar one, and it was just a really beautiful thing. It brings us together, and I know the internet can be a place of hate. because people can, they get bold with the anonymity, being anonymous, let's put it that way, behind a keyboard. But it also can provide people cover when they're talking about mental health. They don't have to show their face. They don't have to give their real name. They don't have to um, share anything they don't want to, that they're not comfortable with. And that can be a really huge help, especially when it comes to some cultures and genders. We spoke yesterday about the fact that we need to normalize men talking about mental health and being okay with saying I'm struggling. And it's one of the things that I found, in uh, all sorts of channels, is the amount of men now being comfortable being on screen and kind of going, yeah, I'm having a bad day. Or, in the case of the Ginger Jack, who is a brilliant streamer over on Twitch, and everyone should follow him if they're not already. Um, raising money for mental health charities like Mermaids and uh, the Samaritans and conversation. He's 26, um, and he's really just normalizing it. It's a conversation dropped into him narrating and, screaming at his video game, and I love that, I really do. Squirrel hunting with onions today. I Is that just gonna scare them off? It's not necessarily gonna draw them in. Yes, a macho man. You do it way better. You do love to be a macho man, it's true. But you are also a man in touch with his feelings, which makes you way more macho than a guy who pretends to not be in touch with his feelings. He does on his streams. If you earn enough channel points over on his Twitch streams, you can play certain songs, and he has a dance that he does to each song, and it is genius, absolutely genius, and just so entertaining. Dressed up like a vampire, a really hot vampire, playing Vampire the Masquerade, doing Macho Man is just mwah, chef's kiss, amazing. Um, and it is well worth, well worth the view. It really is. When you hear explosion, but it's just thunder rain. Hashtag my funny reality. I cannot imagine what that is like at the moment. Like, is that an explosion? Is it thunder? Where are the sirens? I cannot imagine what that is like for you at the moment. And I am, you know, just sending you so much love and positivity and hope. I really am. Thanks for what, darling? Um, Talking about how wonderful you are, but it's true. It is true, 100% true. I'm sure I gave you a shout out earlier. I'm sure I um oh, congratulate you were almost at 180 followers over on Twitch. That is amazing. Um yes. There's the shout out for you, just to make sure that I definitely did it, because I'm now doubting myself. PC Tech Radio, I'm just getting used to asking for help. I used to struggle on and get on with it, but I'm slowly learning to ask for help and advice, and it has helped my mental health so much. Yeah. Sometimes just opening up, hearing you say the words out loud, hearing yourself talk about it, it makes it more tangible and easier. It makes it feel and easier to tackle as a problem. I mean, how many times in our lives have we said to someone, "Hey, can I just bounce ideas off you?" And you've talked about a problem, whether it's at work or at home or wherever, and as you're talking about it, inspiration strikes on how to deal with it. Um, and it's what we're doing is connecting our kind of thinking brain with our verbal skills, and it's firing neurons in a different direction, backwards and forwards, and it sparks a different part of your brain to think about the problem. And there's something like that happening when you talk honestly about your mental health. Um, it just saying it can be a big factor. It's like anything, admitting you have a problem, whether it's addiction or mental health or physical health, whatever. Admitting you have a problem is half the battle, and asking for help and advice and being open to new ideas on how to deal with things. Because when you bury things, that's not changing anything. It's just pushing it down until you just can't take anymore. So I am really glad that you are being more open, and that's to be hugely celebrated. I'm so proud of you for doing that, and I'm so glad that it is benefiting you and makes such a huge difference. Um, mm, mm, mm. I literally not used to rain here. Having a rainy day with just major thunders and no rain is weird. Yeah, I mean, you don't get a lot of rain all year round. So yeah, very odd. But hopefully it gets rid of that humidity, um, uh, and kind of clears the day. Don't worry about it, Andy. It's okay, my friend. Twitch is also much more friendly, um, with reach to new people, you know. Yeah, I mean, I have found Twitch a much more accepting place. I thought I was really gonna struggle to make connections and, find communities over on Twitch, um, because Twitch has this reputation of just being games. And actually the content over there is wide and varied, and I've had a really warm welcome. I've joined a bunch of different Discords and, um, just really enjoyed the people I've met. They all have something to add to the conversation. They're all really passionate, about what they do, but also about what other people do. I really have found it amazing. Um, and also, Twitch streamers aren't as fussy about what they share and what they don't share, about how to set up your channel and how to set up a Discord and, all of those things. And it is, it's amazing. It really is amazing. And it's not just young'uns. It's really nice to see people my age streaming or, older, and people from all walks of life. It is so diverse. I love it. Um, Res dancing to "I'm Sexy and I Know It" as a vampire is awesome. Yeah, it is a sight to behold, and I look forward to having enough channel. I sit there and I lurk so that I get the channel points so I can so that I can get him to dance, which is part of the point, right? Carly says, "Same here, PC Tech Radio. It's always been hard for me to ask for help since I've always been so independent. I used to think that made me dependent on others, which is totally not the case." Yeah, exactly. And this is a tough lesson, and it's one that I need to keep learning because, I don't like to be independent. I've been in situations where I've been forced to be dependent on someone and felt trapped and couldn't get out, and I don't like to be dependent. And one of the good things about breaking my ankle, if you can say it's a good thing, is it has taught me that being relying on someone else, it's not being dependent, but relying on someone else and having someone else help and do the things that you can't doesn't make you weak. You adapt. You find things that you can do so that you are pulling your weight, and actually one of the strongest things that I've done is kind of give in a little bit and say, "No, this is a thing I cannot do," because it means that I've rested, and I've done what I needed to do to aid the healing of my ankle, and mental health is exactly the same. Sometimes you do need to ask for help, and it doesn't make you weak, it makes you stronger, and you adapt, and you get the support you need to be able to heal. It's so important. Good morning, Karen. How are you doing, my darling? Thank you for waving. Um, mm, mm, mm. Oh, I love you too, Xander. I really do. I think what you do is just amazing and hilarious. Um, Xander has a co-host called Ava. Ava is an AI who has learned from the chat, and she's filthy. There's a lot of smut, but it takes Xander by surprise sometimes too, and it is so funny to watch. Um, Temp says, Carly Skaggs. It's true, but funny enough, sharing with people makes us more trustworthy. Yeah, and being there and listening to others. We both know individuals who only listen but never share. Yeah, I mean, like I said this yesterday on my stream. When I set out to do this, I promised myself that I would be myself. I'm not going to polish anything. If I feel terrible, I'm gonna share that with you. The only way for you to trust me and, trust me as a mentor, trust me as a streamer, trust me when I talk about a subject is to be honest and genuine and make mistakes and openly learn from them and trip over my words and not edit it out. You've gotta be authentic and kind of having that two-way conversation about mental health, sharing something that you're not quite comfortable admitting. I'm not asking anyone to share anything they don't want to share, that's not what I'm saying, but when I connect with someone, I always share something, about me and that is relevant, that, hopefully will show people that I have empathy and I have compassion because I've experienced something similar. And it is absolutely a two-way street. It has to be. Um, uh, uh, right, sorry, just catching up on chat. Yes, definitely welcome to the family. We are, the way I view it is you are chosen family to me. We're a community. Um, yeah, Twitch also doesn't demonetize. Thank goodness. Um, definitely. Sorry. Oh, there is so much love in the chat for each other. I love that. Uh, and that's the other thing is, people priming you for information. Um, you know, They don't share anything of themselves, but they want everything from you. It's draining, and it puts us in a very vulnerable position. Um, don't share with someone who won't share with you, unless it's a professional relationship, right? Your therapist, psychologist, whoever can't share private information about themselves. But when it comes to friendships and, networking and things like that, yeah. Uh, Carly, it is when you share your heart with someone, but then one day realize you don't know them, that you understand the power of sharing with others. Yeah, absolutely. PC Tech Radio, all of us from the 1800s can be set in our ways, but we can learn new things. Like streaming is awesome. Yeah, the old adage of you can't teach an old dog new tricks is rubbish, isn't it? It's not true. We are all capable of learning and evolving as long as we're open to it. Um, and I think we need to normalize the idea of learning, and you can't learn without making mistakes. Mistakes are natural, it's okay. Um, and nothing needs to be perfect. This idea of perfection is ridiculous. It needs to be perfect for you. I do this. I've been doing this for over a year. I still make a lot of mistakes. I still don't really know what I'm doing. I'm still learning. But I like to think that I get a little bit better every time and I learn something new. And being open to that potential is important. Anyone who says, "Oh, I'm too set in my ways, I'm not gonna," they don't wanna. They don't wanna put in the effort of learning. Um, Xander says, "Myself, I'm always doubtful of doing things right." It is natural to second guess yourself, but when that starts to create a barrier to moving forward, that's when we really need to talk it out and work out what that stems from and how we overcome it. But I do that, Xander. Like, I have days where I'm like, "Am I doing the right thing doing this? Am I, am I streaming for the right reasons? Um, am I good enough at this?" I do that on a regular basis. You are not alone, my friend. Um, what do you mean? I'm not a vampire at all. Um, uh, uh, uh. Sorry to bother you, but take a little break and elevate your leg now. I have actually swapped positions. Um, so I will be all right for a little while. Thank you, darling. I love you for checking in on me. That is wonderful. Um, mm, mm, mm. He does look great as a vampire. It's like he's living the life he should, dressed as a vampire. Like proper interview with a vampire, um, Queen of the Damned kind of vampire. Yeah, it's the vibes he's giving off for sure. Yeah, it is, and trust is earned. Trust isn't instant. There's a base level of trust and respect and everything else that we usually give people, and they can either go up or down. And it takes time to build trust, and it takes time to work out if someone's genuine or not. And it takes a second for respect or trust or both to just drop through the floor. And people forget that. People think they are owed and they're not. I knew going into this that I would have to earn your trust, and it wouldn't be an overnight thing. And people forget that. People demand respect and demand trust and demand loyalty, and they forget that they are not owed a thing. Um, mm, mm, mm. Yes, I know, but I've got it elevated over my other leg at the moment. I promise. I promise. Um, mm, mm, mm. I don't know how to take a break. I don't know how that works. I don't. Mm, mm, mm. I feel like I owe you everything. On Twitch, breaks seem to be a normal thing. It's very normalized. Here on YouTube, not so much. I'm just awkward, temp is what it comes to. Um, mm, mm, mm. It's a learning experience and it's a lesson worth learning ASAP in life. Yeah, it is, and, it's something that I try and normalize as a conversation with my kids. They're a little bit too young to get it, but if we normalize it now, by the time it becomes relevant as they get towards their teens, they will feel more comfortable with other people being uncomfortable, and that's part of life. You are an open book, and I really admire that. I really, really do. Temp is a sexy vampire. We're back to Temp being a sexy vampire. Um, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, sometimes it is inescapable. Some people are just users, and they're not going to come to their senses until they come to their senses, and that's on them. Um, Sorry. ADHD, superpower focus, superpower hyper focus learning. Yeah, Yeah, ADHD can be a massive superpower. Um, when you know how your ADHD works. Um, yeah, life is just it is about the journey of learning, absolutely. Um, and sometimes we get so focused on the goal and not the journey, um, and not enjoying the journey for what it is. And it's really easy in a moment of hurt to forget that this is all a learning experience. And ultimately, it doesn't matter who wronged you or what they did, you've learned from it. Um, even if that lesson is don't trust that person, you've learned from it. Um, well, yes, there is that temp. You can teach an old dog new tricks, but he's going to be stubborn, annoying ass about it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Um, yeah, some people are just after ammunition, and there is nothing you can do about that other than walk away and leave them to it. Eventually, karma is going to come back. You know, there is going to be some kind of cosmic balance that kicks them in the butt for it. So, yeah, you can't change other people. You can only change yourself and how you deal with that person or how you deal with life going forward. Um, mm, mm, mm. Yvonne, I was like that yesterday, second guessing, but after talking with Andy, I'm good with it now. Good. I am glad that I could help you find some peace with the situation because that really is all you can do at this stage. Listen, if I had a friend who was a vampire and they didn't offer to turn me, I'd take it as a personal insult. Yeah, make me young forever and get rid of all of my ailments, or you're not a mate. Mhm. Uh, 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 uh. Yeah, and some people are transactional. You have to give what they see as a relevant amount back to them. Otherwise, it's not equal. And in their minds, that makes you a user. It's got to be a transaction because they're not capable of just being compassionate, of just being a friend, without something in return. And we see this in celebrities and politicians and that kind of thing. And it is a really sad way to be. Like I really pity those people because they're not really living a fulfilled life and they're not going to realize that until they're sad and alone. Um, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I mean, you know, as far as I'm concerned, even if I've fallen out with someone, what they have said to me in confidence is still kept in confidence. Um, at the time there was trust and respect and whatever else, and I'm going to respect that past relationship, even if it's soured or we don't talk anymore. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, 100%. Turn me or we're not mates. Um, Sorry, I am just trying to catch up on chat because you guys are having a whale of a time without me. Um, yes, we definitely miss Karen. We definitely do. Um, haven't been lurking, just caught up in true crime channels and chats. Are all time consuming. There is so much great content at the moment, and it is really difficult to keep up. My watch later list on YouTube is constantly 100 videos long. And I'm trying so hard to catch up. Um, yeah, I mean, we've talked about karma before, whether it's, quote unquote real, or whether it's something that we believe in so much that it is true. And I don't know. I mean, it does come round eventually, eventually. And sometimes karma comes round after someone's gone. Um, but the rest of the world gets to see who they were, you know? And their legacy gets wiped out. Um, uh, 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 um. You would think, but I don't want to live not trusting anyone. I give everyone a chance. It's up to them if they screw it up. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I feel exactly the same. Give people a chance. You start at that base level, but it's their choices, their actions, their decisions that are gonna mess with that. That is up to them. Um, I always feel bad when life comes around and friends drift away. I mean, yeah, it's a tricky thing. We do drift apart from friendship groups, or even using streamers as an example. It's not that we hate those people, but our tastes have changed and we move to other streams. Or, you know, our favorite streamer starts playing a game that we're not interested in, and we find someone who is someone else on our follow list. And it's nothing personal, and it's the same with friendship groups. It isn't anything personal, but our tastes and our lives have deviated away, and it is sad. But I would also say this: for however long you were on the journey together, that is something to be celebrated, and you are meant to have those experiences with those people. Your journey then carries on, their journey carries on. And it's, you know, it's a mutual thing. Um, yeah, exactly. No falling out. We drift apart and we meet new people. Yeah, absolutely. Um, you know, I've had a lot of fun exploring kind of on Twitch. When someone finishes, they raid over to another channel. And I've had a lot of fun experiencing those other channels. And, you know, it's really nice because depending what mood I'm in, I can pick a streamer that is fitting that mood with the game they're playing, with what they're talking about, and who they are, how they present. Like if I want a nice chill stream that is positivity, then it's Mad Errors. If I want or creamed corn cob. If I want something that is upbeat and funny, then it's you that I go and find. Or, you know, it is really nice to have that choice. It's a bit like music playlists. Like you don't listen to the same playlist over and over. Some songs just speak to you, and others you skip. Um, and it's the same with streamers and stuff like that. I meant to say, trust isn't binary. It isn't a yes or no. It has a scale, levels. I trust people with time experiences, and the more fights, um, I trust more. Is that kind of a meeting of the mind, the more debates and conversation and everything else? Because if so, I would absolutely agree with that. I like talking to people that have a different viewpoint. I learn more from people like you, Temp, because there have been times when we have completely disagreed on a subject, but it's so respectful, and we hear each other out and we discuss it like adults, and it is a fun debate. Um, mm, mm, mm. Uh, I'll always come home like the prodigal daughter. Um, Funny story this week. I had a lurker and he simply posted, "What the fuck," when Ava started to do a FMK with the chat members and left. Your channel was obviously not for that person, or at least Ava is not for that person. Not every channel is. Not every channel is. Um, uh, Xander, that's part of life. Drifting is okay, but a fight or and bad air is different. Some people become vindictive, resentful, or ever hostile. Yeah. Some people can't accept that they aren't the right person for you, or that you aren't the right person for them. And, again, it comes down to this demanding loyalty, demanding, expecting, and not being able to accept that those things aren't theirs to demand. There's someone else's to give. Excuse me, I'm gonna top up my coffee. Um, Sorry about the pouring noises if that picks up on the microphone. Um, Oops. Sadly, sometimes it is personal when you stop subscribing to a YouTube channel, but most of the time it's just content community or just not enough time. Yeah, I mean, some people, and again, people expect you to subscribe. And thinking of that, if you are getting value out of today or you enjoy the content, then do consider subscribing. But you aren't owed that subscription. You aren't owed that loyalty. You aren't owed the money that you demand through, tips or donations or, super chats or whatever. Um, and the problem is, there are some streamers that we've seen who get big overnight because they've hit a trending topic and get used to that income and everything else. And when that drops off after that topic ends, they feel like they're owed that income as a guaranteed income, and that's not how it works. And one of the things that you have to wrap your head around, and it is hard, is the fact that you aren't owed viewers. There are some days where I am streaming to 0 people. I still stream, because maybe this content is gonna be helpful to someone else later on, um, and they're gonna find it. Today, I've got 10 of you. I don't think I have ever streamed on YouTube with 10 people, so hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. That's amazing. Um, but yeah, I don't take it personally. Like, I've lost viewers over on Twitch, and I've lost subs over here, and, when I see it, I'm like, "Aw." But ultimately, I'm not the channel for them. I'm not the person. Maybe they like the content but can't stand me, or maybe they can't stand the content but really like me. Like, there's loads of reasons for it. And honestly, it's a vanity metric, and once you get monetized, after that point, it's kind of a vanity metric, and some people do measure their worth by that. I would rather have people who watch consistently, who are part of the community, who, are regular viewers than huge subscriber numbers. Um, it's about reaching the people that you wanna reach, and helping the people you wanna help. Um, you know? Sorry, I went off on a little bit of a thing there. Um, Ooh, sorry, let me just reset. Um, do, do. Uh, Sorry, I'm catching up on, chat. It reset as I was scrolling down, so I'm trying to find where it was. Um, yeah, better to have loved and lost and never loved at all. This is, this is a really key thing, especially when it comes to streamers and stuff like that. It is better to have had what you had. Um, I mean, like Xander says, later on, um, down in the chat that he really fears getting big overnight, and I do too, because I don't know what to do what to do with that, and once you hit that, you've gotta maintain it. and it puts so much pressure on you to put out more content and, you know, work. And doing this is really hard work. I finish a stream and I'm exhausted. Um, uh, but I love what I do. And the idea of getting big overnight and having to do what like Pascal and the amount of content he puts out over on the Pascal show, he's doing an amazing job. Um, but that would be too much for me by a long way. You know? Karen, no, you aren't, vindictive, you just want justice for the hurt person, that person caused you, but knowing they are not worth your time because you shouldn't let their negativity affect you. Yeah, um, you know, I absolutely agree. Um, you know, toxic people, it's doing that orbit audit, and I talk about this an awful lot, but working out who is draining you, who is stopping you from having the energy to do the other stuff, and who is giving you energy, who is building you up and cheerleading you, on good days and bad, and who is sharing themselves with you. Is it reciprocal? Is it unconditional for each other? Those are the people you draw closer. The people that are transactional, the people that are sapping your energy, spend less time with them. You don't have to cut them out of your life, because sometimes that's not always possible, but you can take half a step back from them and spend just a little bit less time, and protect yourself, look after yourself. I love a good debate, Sander. With you know, debates with respect brings other views on life and taste. Yeah, and that's how we all learn and grow as a species. Um, yeah, I'm the same. I'm subbed to way too many channels, and I only watch a few of them. Craftalytical, right. Um, why people have a hard time that sometimes 2 people just don't vibe well together. I may not vibe with a person you are friends with, so what? If you vibe with them, enjoy. Yeah, see, I am a big fan of this. So I may not like someone that you're friends with, but you're friends with them, and that's none of my business. I'm not going to ask you to pick sides. I'm not gonna ask I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna dish all the gossip that I think is relevant to break your relationship up with that person. Um, because I respect you as a human being, I respect your decision. Just because I've fallen out with them or I don't vibe with them, you know, I'm not gonna try and change someone else's opinion of someone. My argument is with this person, no one else needs to be in the middle of that. So I am absolutely with you. Um, yeah, you know, this is Sandra's thing. I absolutely fear that. Building up slowly gets you, you know, it means you're reaching the people that you should be reaching. And for some of us, it takes years to feel like we're getting traction, and we will always go through periods of that. Um, but it is better to build slowly and get used to your audience and adapt to your audience. Um, you know, they've been drawn to you for a reason. You guys are drawn to this channel for a reason. And that's what I should be concentrating on, not how many people have clicked a button. Because as Karen said, like, people do subscribe to an awful lot of people because they wanna support them. I don't actually watch them. Um, mm, mm, mm. Um, Sander, you don't need to find your style or crowd, you need to find yourself. The crowd that enjoys you will show up. Absolutely. If you aren't sure who you are, the crowd wouldn't know either. Yeah, I mean, really, just be you. Like, we love you for who you are, so keep being you, and the right people will come to you. Wait until I get my family here, you'll have more than 10. That's a little bit scary, but yeah, I love the fact that you enjoy what I do enough to want to spread the word, so thank you. Mwah. I love you for that. You gotta get ready for work, Karen. Oh, you're ready for work early today so you can join me. Oh, I love you. I love you for being here. Way to go, Andy. I'm not sure what that is in relation to because I am so far behind on the chat, Carly, but thank you. Thank you lots. Um, yeah, there are channels that demand loyalty. You're right, PC Tech. Um, yeah, I mean, you know, Perez has done the same things, and he's gone into it being himself and doing something he loves and he's passionate about, and is just him. Um, and that makes such it is the world of difference because you do draw like-minded people, people who have the same sense of humor and want to do wanna talk about the same things and play the same games and, all the rest of it. They come to you. Keep doing what you're doing because people come to you. And I know I'm giving you advice as someone who has, 106, subscribers here on YouTube and 33 over on Twitch. So, I'm teaching you but I'm teaching you to suck eggs because you're already there. You're already doing it. With over 300 people who have clicked that button over on Twitch, you were doing it. Um Uh, oh, Xander, thank you so much. I had a notification pop up, but I didn't catch it in time before it disappeared. Thank you so much. You are so kind. I love you. Temp says, "Wait, guys, didn't you know some YouTube channels subscribe is done in blood and you are forever beholden in your soul? Your soul and views and love must be given in servitude forever, even if you watch 4 months." Yeah, I just it's ridiculous to me. Um, I no one owes you anything in life. No one. Nothing comes for free. No one owes you anything. You have to work for it, and you have to be genuine. And that's it. Um, I've unsubscribed from channels because, I've loved their content, but they've then said something that is so opposed to my beliefs that I cannot support them. Um I've tried to talk to them, and when that falls on deaf ears, I'm done because, I cannot again, it comes down to capitalism and walking with your feet as a customer, but I can't support people who spout anti-trans rhetoric. I cannot, support people who, um, refuse to believe that women's rights matter. I can't do that because that would be hypocritical with what I talk about here and what I'm trying to do. So, you know, they don't owe me anything. I don't owe them anything. Um, uh, aw, thank you. Thank you very much, Sandra. I really appreciate that. Um, mm, sorry, catching up on chat again. Yeah, we all choose our friends, we all choose our chosen family, um, and it just because my experience with someone was hard, doesn't mean yours will be. My experience with them may well have helped them learn on their journey, and it's helped me learn on my journey. Who am I to interfere with that? Um, uh, I'm so glad no one should fake it, Sandra, no one should fake it. Hey, KTM, how are you? Thank you for lurking and being here. I love the fact that you're with us. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. Um, sorry, I'm catching up on chat again. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No resentment. I'm one of those people, I don't hate anyone. Even people that have done some horrific things, I don't hate them. Um, at worst, I kind of nothing them. Um, but, no one owes anyone anything, and, when you run a channel, you can't be possessive over viewers. And actually, I find it really nice going to another channel and seeing friendly faces in the chat, you know? Seeing people that watch my streams and other streams and, all the rest of it. I'm not owed anyone tuning in to hear me waffle for 2 hours, you know? Um Oh, thank you very much, Karen. Carly, sorry. Yeah. It's really weird. 10 or 11 people watching. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. If you're new to the channel, my name is Andy. Craftalytical is all about talking mental health. Sometimes we have subjects, sometimes we don't. We follow what the chat wants to talk about. We are lurker friendly. If you just want to tune in and maybe pick some stuff up unconsciously or through hypnosis or something, that's great. If you find me boring and you're using me to fall asleep, I hope you have a really good sleep. But we are here for you if you want to join in. Sorry, catching up on chat again. Um, yeah, Xander, again, if you if you're trying to work out who you are, and we all go through periods of that, no matter how old we get. We all try and work out our way in life and who we are and who we want to be, who we want to grow into. Um, you know, Sometimes you have got to fake it until you make it a little bit. Um, and manifest it into being. But you can do it. People will come up to you because they are drawn to you. Um, and you can't force that. You can't force a genuine connection, especially when you're streaming, you know? Uh, doo, doo, doo. What you need to do is more networking and putting yourself out there. To be honest with you, you don't actively have to network, especially when you're streaming. You see friendly faces in the chat, you talk about what you're up to, go and visit their streams, see what they're up to. If nothing else, you're learning kind of what works and what doesn't, and what aspects of how they stream you might want to take on board. And you get to know people and you network that way, and it can be fun. Don't think of it as like a really boring work networking event. It's not. It's about making genuine connection, and that's then how you end up supporting, just like we've done. You and we now mutually support each other because we like each other, I hope, and we want to see each other do well. um Don't cry, we love you. I love you too. Have a great day, Karen. I really hope you have a great day full of positivity, a blessed day, the day that you deserve. Um, we love you and we miss you. Thank you so much for popping in. Um, Karen, Temp is a sexy vampire and he has our blood oaths and souls. It's in YouTube's new terms of service under oaths and soul ownership of creators and subscribers. Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if that started being a thing. Um, uh, Sorry, I'm still trying to catch up on what you've all been saying because I'm interested in what you're saying. Um, um, yes, and I want to give you credit for this. I really, really do. You brought us together and you've introduced us to Twitch streamers and some really amazing people and brought this community together. Um, And it is a big community, and you did that. You gave us that, and I don't think I thank you often enough, because I really should. And you have been an inspiration and a mentor to most of us who are also on this streamer journey. And it's so important to recognize that and be honest about it, you know? Um, Sorry, I'm just rereading. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what is it? Something like 2 billion people watch YouTube, um, a year. That's 2 billion individual people. There is plenty of audience to go around, and being possessive over an audience doesn't make sense. Um, uh, uh Currently at work, I'm mostly listening and responding to what you say. If someone in chat is talking to me, then the response might come in late. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. I love the fact that you are working and lurking. Thank you. You're a pool designer. I am really curious. I am really curious what that is and what that entails. Is it like an architect for pools? Because I could imagine that being quite intricate. Like we think of pools as just a big pool of water, but there's a lot that goes into it in terms of hiding the pumps and filtration system and water in, water out, and stuff like that. So I'm actually very interested in that. How do you become a pool designer? Like, what are the credentials that you need for that? Because that's quite interesting. And now at this point, I'm going to be a corporate shill, um, and do an ad read. How interesting is this? So, I'm really nervous about doing this, right? I want you to know I'm really nervous about doing this. I don't want you to think that I'm just capturing you here to sell you stuff. But as you guys know, a lot of you are streamers or you're experienced watching other channels. One of the best ways for channels to keep going is to get into partnerships with companies and talk about. Oh, bugger. Sorry, press the wrong thing. And talk about companies that are useful to our audience. So, as you know, I've had a long journey with therapy, and despite good and bad experiences, I really do believe in its benefits for all of us. That is why I have become a paid partner with BetterHelp. If you click on my link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/crafty and fill in this questionnaire that you see on the screen, you'll be asked about your situation and what kind of therapist you want to be matched with, and you will get 10% off your first month of therapy. And you will be helping me as a small creator reach more people who need mental health support. With BetterHelp, most people are matched with a therapist that meets their needs within around 48 hours. And if for any reason you want to change your therapist, you can with no additional fees. You can also choose how and when to talk to your therapist, whether that's voice or video call, or even through messaging, making it more convenient and comfortable as an experience for you. I think that's why over 4 million people have used BetterHelp to move forward with their lives. I've decided to become a paid partner with BetterHelp because I really do believe in therapy being easy and accessible to everyone. So use my link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/crafty, CRAFTY, to get 10% off of your first month and start your therapy journey today. A paid partnership. Thank you for listening. I know ad reads are boring, and most people skip through them, but they are really important to small streamers. So get some help. If you've been thinking of using BetterHelp, just click on the link. It really helps me, and you get a really good deal. So let's get back to the chat. Temp is holding in a naughty joke involving being a pool designer. Please don't hold it in. Don't bottle that kind of thing up. Share it with us. Sander is going to send me some pictures. And yes, kind of an architect, but I only manage the pool itself. That is really cool. I was an industrial drafter at first, then lost my job and went looking and ended up here. Been here for the last 15 years. That's really cool. That is really, really cool. Andy Temp brought me into this community too, and the amazing people and the content is great. So many creative people and diverse. Yes, the creativity in this community, the hobbies and the art that people produce is just mind-boggling. And the things that people teach themselves, like I am blown away by how many people in this community have taught themselves new skills because they are in this community. It's really lovely. If you are using your PC, you can train it to understand you and your voice with the PC. And with time, it will be better and better in understanding you. You asked for it. I'm a pool designer. All I do is flex. There you go. Pools are coming. Pools are coming with you. I think I got that wrong. Hey, it's Auntie Giggles. Good morning, Auntie Giggles. How are you? It's been a long time since I've seen you. How are you doing? My art is stream designing, making interactive fun things. Yeah. I mean, content creation is definitely creative. It's definitely art. There is an art form to being on screen. Like I had a conversation this week with someone, and about building a community and how it happens, and the realization that they had a community, that they were building a community. They'd never thought about it that way. And then we discussed the fact that it's really weird to think that we're all on telly. We are all on TV. We are TV presenters. And that was just really weird for both of us to kind of have that reaction. So sorry, Temp, if I got the read absolutely wrong. I'm a pool designer. All I do is take my shirt off, and there you go. Pools are coming. Pools are coming with you. I can make games that chat can play just by just being in chat with nothing else needed. Yeah, I mean the work you've done to set up Ava, it's like a game within a stream, and it's magical. It's such a beautiful thing to do. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like it blows my mind, kind of people making emotes. I have no idea how to even start doing that for Discord, or if I get to affiliate on Twitch. None whatsoever. How people use the interactive chat functions like the music and stuff like that. It's mind-boggling and magical to me. It's like hocus pocus, here you go. Like watching Rez the other day make emotes for Dipsy. I was like, this is just witchcraft. Hold on 2 seconds. I have an alarm going off. Bear with me. How do I? There we go. Stop camera. Sorry. Have an alarm going off. I have so many notifications on my phone. It's the problem with sticking my phone on do not disturb while I do streams and stuff. It's like I come back to like a bunch of notifications of, other people that have gone live or, news, that kind of thing. I would love like you and Temp and whoever else, awkward ringtone and witchy, I would love input because I really want to up my game and be better at this kind of thing. And I really want to be able to give back to my community, and things that people really love are silly stuff like um, uh, emotes and kind of noises. um, at least she got it now, a shot and a miss. But hey, you got to take the shot. Yeah, it's me. Um, Androids. I have an Android phone. I cannot afford an iPhone. No chance. And actually, I prefer Android phones. I know it's controversial. What I need to do is find an old phone and just use that as a camera so that I can keep an eye on my actual phone for things like Discord alerts and stuff that comes up during stream that I should really be paying attention to, because I'm not really set up. I have a very basic setup. I have my phone as a camera and then my laptop and my microphone. That's it. So yeah, it's a very basic basic setup, and really I need an old phone so that I can use my current phone for all of the alerts and stuff. Hot take, Androids are so much better than iPhone. I think so too, but that would really upset some of my friends. You can use Bixby to do those things so you don't have to touch the phone. Oh, what, for alerts and stuff? Okay. So if I have an alert stream, I just say, "Hi, Bixby, turn off alert." Or if I forgot to silence it, I say, "Yeah, set phone to silent mode." So I put it on do not disturb, but alarms go through it because it turns itself on to do not disturb overnight, for instance, and I don't get my um I don't get try again. It sets itself to do not disturb if it's not been touched for a certain amount of time. It assumes that you're resting. Um, and it does that overnight as well. So I've got to set it so that alarms come through. And I keep forgetting that I've got an alarm set for 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, or just before 2 o'clock on a Tuesday. So yeah, hopefully that wasn't too disruptive. But that is a really clever app. That is a really clever app. And I may well look into it. Thank you. Excuse me. So now we're coming to 2 hours of me streaming. And I want to thank everyone that's been here. I adore every single one of you, and you are really appreciated. I'm nothing without you as a community being here and sharing your experience and talking to each other and being supportive. So thank you so much for, directing the conversation. I'll look at it in a minute, Temp, and let you know. So yeah, I really do appreciate you all being here. Thank you for the new people that have come along, and thank you, Xander, for subscribing. I really appreciate you being here as well. Thank you for your support. Thank all of you for your support, because it is genuinely really appreciated. Go get that leg up. Yes, I'm going to have something to eat and a fresh cup of coffee, and I am going to get my foot up. If you know the model, I'll help you with it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will send you a message. I am really sorry I ruined your 69. But I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Do you want me to unsubscribe? Because I will, out of love for you. Thank you for being here, Ramius. Thank you, Xander and Temp and Carly and Karen and Yvonne and Steve and KTM. I appreciate you being here. Did I miss anyone? Auntie Giggles, thank you for lurking in the shadows. PC Tech Radio, thank you for joining in the conversation. You were really valuable today in talking about that kind of thing. So thank you. Thank you very much for forgiving me. Yvonne, thank you, and not thank you for making me cry. I will speak to you all a little bit later. If you have any requests for conversations, any topics that you would like us to talk about as a community, or you would like my take on, let me know. But otherwise, have a great Tuesday. You can kick this week's butt. You can do what you set out to do, and just go be blessed. Go have a wonderful, positive week, because you all deserve it. So have the week you actually deserve, not the week that you think you might deserve. And I will speak to you so very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.